Most of us are told to chase work-life balance, but do we even know what that means? Or why we work in the first place? In this video, we will explore how balance has changed from hunter-gatherers to today, why some countries seem to have it figured out, what psychology really says, and what balance might look like in the future. Work-life balance is the skill of directing your time and energy so work doesn't consume your life and life doesn't sabotage your work. It means performing well without trading away your health, relationships, or personal growth. Why it matters? Well, research shows that poor work-life balance leads to stress, burnout, depression, and health risks, while healthy balance improves productivity, job satisfaction, and overall happiness. So let's start with the basics. Why do we even need to work? First, for survival, food, rent, safety. Once that's secure, we work for fulfillment, for identity, mastery, recognition, and the chance to contribute and leave a legacy. In short, balance is striving at work while staying human, and work begins as survival and grows into meaning. And if we zoom out globally, the numbers are pretty eye-opening. The International Labour Organization and the World Bank estimate that about 72% of people work mainly just to survive, that is, to pay the bills and keep life running. Only around 13% say they work for fulfillment, for passion, for growth, or purpose. And the remaining 15% don't work at all because they're either retired or being supported. Think about your family members, your office colleagues, or social circle. Odds are 7 out of 10 people around you are working mainly just to pay the bills. So for most of us, work starts as a have to, but for some, it also becomes a want to, a way to find meaning. So if work is both about survival and meaning, here is a thought. Did people in the past ever even worry about work-life balance? The truth is not really. For most of human history, the phrase didn't even exist. Take the hunter-gatherers about 70,000 to 10,000 years ago. On average, they only spent about 4 hours a day finding food and staying alive. The rest, leisure, community, and storytelling. Then came farming about 10,000 years ago, where work hours nearly doubled to around 9 hours a day, which meant less freedom, more routine work. Fast forward to the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s, brutal factory shifts 12 to 16 hours a day. Finally, in the 1900s, labor movements fought back, and that's where we got the 8-hour workday. And today, most people work 8 to 12 hours, but real leisure often still feels insufficient. Looking ahead, with AI and automation, some predict we could even work as little as 2 to 3 hours a day in the future. Now, not every country has the same balance. Some like Finland, Denmark, and New Zealand are global leaders in work-life balance. Why? They offer generous leave, 30 plus days off, work weeks are shorter, about 30 to 35 hours, healthcare and family support are strong, and culturally, personal time is respected. And the results? Not just more happiness, but also longer life expectancy, stronger families, higher productivity, and even higher trust in society. Countries with shorter work weeks plus more leaves show higher happiness and higher life expectancy. Whereas high work hours in countries like India and China don't necessarily translate into better productivity or happiness. But here is the truth. Balance isn't about splitting hours evenly. None of these matter unless they actually align with your personal values. We have seen how work-life balance has shifted across history and how different countries define it today. But numbers and policies alone don't tell the full story, because what actually feels like balance depends less on your country and more on you. So here's the real twist. Balance isn't the same for everyone. Most of us imagine balance like a weighing scale. Equal time for work, family, health, friends, hobbies. Sounds neat, but life doesn't work like that. It's not static. Sometimes your career demands more, sometimes family or health take the front seat. Trying to keep everything perfectly equal usually just creates more stress and guilt. That's where values come in. If your family is your top value, then things like remote work or generous leave feel like balance. If growth and career are your top values, too much work from home might feel isolating, even like you're falling behind. If health matters most, then flexible hours or shorter commutes might be more important than salary. The same policy can look like freedom to one person and a trap to another, depending entirely on values. That's why balance isn't universal, it's personal. And psychology backs this up. Research in self determination theory and positive psychology shows that real happiness isn't about clocking perfect 8-hour workdays, it's about living in alignment with your values. Think about it. Someone who values growth might feel more alive working late on a passion project than leaving at 5 p.m. from a boring job. Meanwhile, someone who values connection might gladly turn down a big promotion if it means more evenings with family. So, balance isn't about equal slices of time, it's about syncing life with what matters most to you. But here is another twist. What feels like balance isn't universal. Culture shapes it, technology blurs it, burnout challenges it, inequality limits it, and the future of work might redefine it altogether. So let's dive in. First, cultural differences in balance. In Europe, 4-day work weeks and long vacations are normal. In the US and Asia, hustle culture dominates. Even within household, gender roles shift what balance looks like. So, what's healthy in one place may seem lazy in another. Second, tech and remote work angle. Laptops and Wi Fi promise freedom, but work now follows us everywhere. Midnight messages to vacation emails to dinner calls. Remote work erased commutes, but also the line between work and life. Third, burnout signs. Burnout isn't just tiredness. The World Health Organization calls it chronic workplace stress, showing up as exhaustion, cynicism, and poor performance. Over time, it harms your mood, immunity, and even causes heart disease. Balance isn't luxury, it's about survival. The fourth point, inequality perspective. Balance isn't equally available. For example, senior managers can negotiate flexibility, but gig workers or single parents often can't. For many, it's about survival once again, not time management. The fifth, future of work. AI, automation, and demographic shifts are changing the rules. Will we get shorter weeks and more freedom, or an always on gig culture? The question isn't about just balance today, but the balance we design for tomorrow. Think of an athlete. In their prime, they push to the absolute extreme. Long hours, intense training, total focus. But here's the thing, that peak intensity is just a season, and it always comes with trade offs like lost sleep, constant stress, even shallow relationships. Eventually, priorities shift, recovery, family, or a different purpose takes center stage. Life works the same way. You can have it all for a season, but not for a lifetime. The real skill isn't trying to stay at peak performance forever. It's learning to adjust as your values and life stage evolve. The problem is, society often takes these short highlight reels and sells them as a lifelong standard. And when we can't match it, we end up feeling like failures. So, what actually helps them? Well, a few simple but powerful things. Number one, define your values. Get brutally clear on what matters most right now. Is it family, growth, health, stability, freedom? Without clarity, you will always feel pulled in every direction. Second, Pick priorities for the season. You don't have to juggle everything at once. Choose your top focus for this phase of life. Maybe it's your health or career or family. Remember, priorities aren't permanent. They shift as life shifts. Third, manage energy, not just your time. Think of yourself like a five-part battery: physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual. All five matter. The mix just looks different for everyone. Even an introvert might need more alone time and an extrovert more connection, but both need a charge across all five. Number four, set boundaries. Boundaries protect your energy. That could mean no emails after 5 p.m. or keeping weekends family only. Balance needs fences as much as ambitions. As we can see, balance isn't about slicing time perfectly every day or every week. It's about moving with life's rhythms, guided by your values in the season you are in. So maybe the real question isn't do you have balance, but are you living in harmony with what matters most right now? That's a far better compass than chasing some perfect one size fits all formula.